So, I am 47 years old. I moved downtown Chicago to go to DePaul University from the suburbs, from my family, from the northwest suburbs. I was 17, back and forth a little bit from 92 until 2000, downtown Chicago. A couple times home. Then I moved here to Los Angeles. I've been a renter and an apartment hopper since I was 17. To call a house a home, I always know what to do. I make nests. I love it. I change the energy. I always am divinely guided to the right place at the right time. My current little house, I dreamt of doing the dishes, looking out at fruit trees with a jelly bean sized pool with a black gate around it. There it was. Just had to bring the trees back to life, and I did. The giant came into our life in 2018. How that happened, I will share. But he was in another country. He's a Polish man, but he was living in Wales. He, within a couple weeks, came to meet me. This is not a 90-day fiance thing. I saw one episode of that and I cried and I tried to break up with him because I'm like, I'm not going to be that lady. But he was persistent. He came out for a couple weeks. Then he came out again for the whole month of December. Met my mom, met my brother. We were trying to make plans. I said, I wish I could have you here as an employee, but I can't change my taxes. I had my own business, had a household, the works. By the time he came out the following April, 2019, he came with a 6-month visa. He surprised me and he said, I'm here to woo you. And by the end of the 5th month, we eloped. There's no way I was sending him back on that plane again. My children are in love. I was in love. Our home felt balanced. We started with nothing. I may have had a successful business. I may make great money at motion picture, but my priority was my kids. So I worked enough to get by on a crazy overhead. But there was no room for error. And there was also just no wiggle room at all. There was no saving. There was no nothing. By the time he came in, we eloped August 2019. By the following March, he had visited me on set. He schmoozed. He got connected with the guys who run the camera cranes. He befriended them. He hustled. He called them every week. Do you need help now? Do you need help now? Do you need help now? He took odd jobs on Craigslist to bring in money for the household. He came with just suitcases. And he had investments. He had a home in Poland that was sold. He never got the money. He had cars and things that were in Wales. He also still is raising his nephew, so he was taking care of him. So we both started with nothing. It's love. Love God's to this point, and this man's hustle and drive. Lockdown hit 2020, March 2020. I was done. And by June, he started at the shop at Cranium, and he hustled. And for 2.5 years, not only did he save enough for a deposit, but he got himself citizenship, he got himself the loan, he got himself all of the above, a car, got me out of debt, la 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 la. My children and I have been thriving ever since. The parasite cleanses help too. Y'all know I'm pushing the detox. Come on, everybody. Join! But manifestation for shizzle! Now, the funny thing with this house is, with motion picture work, we still need to stay in a vicinity, and I'm not ready to give up on LA. I do follow the comms, I do research up the wazoo, and I do know, I'm sorry, but LA's been taken over for decades. The light is already flooding in. I'm on the transition team, I'm not leaving. He's doing well too. And if we had a choice, that was the most overwhelming thing. Why leave 22 years of a life I've had here in the valley and who we know? So we have goals on that. That's a whole nother story. Anyway, this house, when we always refreshing every night, showing each other what we like, what we don't like, manifesting, trying to get the bubble of the area we want to look at. When we are active about it, 3 offers in, I'm like, oh my gosh, this goes fast. It is a seller's market. And there was this one house. He kept, I want to see. I'm like, nope. Nope. It has all the top things I don't want. No. Particularly cookie cutter. And, but then I got at this point where it was still there. And the price per square foot was so decent. I'm like, what is really wrong with this? It was still there. It was still there. Finally, he sees it. I'm like, fine. I go, watch, this will be the house. We go through and I'm like, check, check, check. I go, okay, it has all the things. Aside from a few major compromises, but it has the things. And I saw the investment too. And boom, boom, boom. Happened so fast. So now we're juggling 2 places. Everything happens for a reason. The love story will get bigger as the time goes on. I'm doing the taping before the taping, so I thought I'd test everything and ride the high of keys to a new abode. So my background will change soon because I still haven't figured out the green screen. More to come. I gotta go chat with Abby and our friend Patricia from Keystone Channel. Bye. Smell you later. More to come.